example, imagine that there is a big model of the earth, the globe, say about 10 feet in radius, very big. Very well, you can spread a carpet around it. It's possible. Because when we lay out a carpet, we normally spread out a carpet on the surface which is not comfortable to walk on. Carpet is not on a surface which is not comfortable to walk on. So science today tells us that if the outer crust was not spread out like a carpet around the spherical earth, we would not be able to live. Because the deeper layers are hot and fluid. So when Quran says we have spread out the earth, it is referring to the earth's crust has been spread out like a carpet. And the reason is given so that you may walk in the spacious path of the Lord. Quran says in other places also that we have made the earth as spacious. Quran says this in Naba, chapter 78, verse number 6, we have made the earth as an expanse. It is referring that the earth we have made as wide. You know why? The answer is given in Surah Al-Kabus, chapter 29, verse 56. Which says, we have made the earth as a wide expanse for you so that you will worship me and me alone. So tomorrow you cannot say that the situation where I lived in, maybe Bombay, it was a difficult circumstances. Therefore, I was prevented to do good deeds and I did evil deeds. Allah says the earth is a wide expanse for you. It is spacious. You cannot give the excuse for doing evil deeds because of your circumstances. Therefore, worship Allah and Allah alone. There is no place in the Holy Quran which says the world is flat. In fact, I told in my speech, the Quran says in Surah Luqman, chapter 31, verse 29, and Surah Al-Zumur, chapter 39, verse number 5, that the world is spherical. And specifically, in Surah Naziyah, chapter 79, verse number 30, وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا. We have made the earth thereafter egg-shaped, like an ostrich egg, which is exactly geospherical. Hope that answers the question.
Next brother on my left.
Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Abdul Subhan. I am an accountant. It is mentioned in Quran that Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, no one can say what is in the stomach of mother, male or female. But on the other hand, science says, or is proving male or female. So kindly give light on this question.
Let us pose a question that the Quran says that no one besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can mention what is the sex of the child in the mother's womb, and today science is advanced. We can come to know by ultrasonography, etc., the sex of the child. What the brother is referring to a verse in the Holy Quran from Surah Luqman, chapter 31, verse number 34, which says, only Allah has the knowledge of the hour, of when it is going to rain, what is in the womb of the mother, where will a person die, and what will he earn. The Quran says only Allah knows what is in the womb of the mother. It does not say what is the sex of the child in the mother's womb. I do know there are various translations, especially the Urdu translations. They mention the word sex. The word sex is not there in the Holy Quran. The Arabic verse of Surah Luqman, chapter 31, verse 34, does not say sex. It says no one besides Allah knows what is in the womb. It's only referring to the nature of the child. Whether the child that will be born, will he be good or will he be bad? Will he be boon for society? Will he be bane for society? What will he become? A doctor or an engineer? Will he go to heaven or hell? And no scientist with the best technology can decipher that. Nowhere does the Quran say that only Allah knows the sex. It is saying only Allah knows what will be the nature of the child and what will he do. And no scientist with whatever equipment they have can predict this.
South Korea.
Thank you so much.
This November 14th and 15th, come to watch live demystifying and challenging public talks on God and Islam.
Invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them and reason with them in the ways that the best ways.
Inshallah, on Saturday, 14th November 2015 at 4 p.m.
There are about 20 common questions which
Witness
are there
Dr. Zakir Naik respond objectively to the widespread allegations against Islam in his talk, Misconceptions About Islam,
what the media has created.
at Daejeon Islamic Center, Daejeon, South Korea. Inshallah, on Sunday, 15th November 2015 at 1 p.m. Reflect with Dr. Zakir Naik as he analyzes probabilities, evidences and facts on does God exist?
I gave you the answer. You didn't hear it. So you didn't hear it.
At Olympic Hotel, Seoul, South Korea, both public talks will inshallah be followed by open question and answer sessions.
If a person is with religion,
People from all religions and faiths are welcome. Admission is free. Dr. Zakir Naik's tour to South Korea. Dialogue, discussion, debate, rebuttal, conclusion.
Eliminate misconceptions about religion. Get enlightened.
Witness Dr. Zakir Naik in a battle of words in Crossfire every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 10 a.m. UK on Peace TV. Stories of glories. Often that three fought the pangs of poverty by selling gowns at 13. His blindness did not stop his unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Propagated virtues, prevented vice with decisions unchallenged. He is Sheikh Abdulaziz bin Abdullah bin Baz, former Grand Mufti of Saudi.
The next question from the slip. We have talked about astronomy. What is the reference towards astrology and effect of the position of stars and planets on human life? The Hindu mythology and belief lays a lot of stress on Janpatri and palmistry. Your comments, please.
Question posed is, the Quran speaks about astronomy. What does the Quran speak about astrology? Like looking at the stars and Janpatri, fortune telling, etc. The Quran says in several places, including Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse number 90, it says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru wal maisuru, most certainly intoxicants and gambling, wal anzabu wal aslamu, dedication of stones, divination of arrows, rizqun min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork, abstain from such handiwork that you may prosper. The Quran says that do not indulge in fortune telling. It doesn't say whether fortune telling can be right or wrong. It says don't indulge in it. And we know there are many people who can look at the palm and predict your future by looking at the stars, and we know most of it is fake. We know most of it is fake. You go to a computer, put your date of birth, and you get the answer. There was a research done by a professor to just show to the people what did he mean. He taught a classroom of 100 students for 7 days. At the end of the 7 days, he said, I have come to know the nature of all the students. I will write each one's nature on a piece of chit and give it to him. And when I say open the chit, open it simultaneously and give your views. So he wrote a chit of paper and gave to every student what his nature is. And what has he done in the past, what has he done so far. So all the students, they opened the chit. And do you know that more than 90% said that the teacher was 100% correct. The remaining 10% said he was 90% correct. The experiment was the teacher wrote the same thing for all the 100 students. You know, there are certain things, if I tell you, in the next 6 months, something good is going to happen to you. Even if 100 bad things happen, one good thing is going to happen. So it is no prediction. It is just making a flurry of the people. Most of these people who say that we can predict, you know what they say? See, all the other people who predict future are false. But the one which I go to, he is 100% correct. Everyone says that. And they take them for a ride, just to make money. Quran does not say whether it's right or wrong. Quran says do not indulge in fortune telling. It does not say no one can tell about this or that. It says don't indulge, it will cause you more harm. Hope that answers the question.
The next question from the slip is by Advocate Abbas Ataukar. He asks, the world is threatened with the menace of AIDS. It is not known how to deal with it. Does Quran throw any light on its causes and prevention?
The question posed was that we are threatened with AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Does Quran throw any light on that? If you happen to know, that's the first International AIDS Conference, it took place in our city of Bombay in 1994 in Hotel Oberoi Towers. First international conference on AIDS. And Dr. Michael Merson, he was the person who headed here from WHO, World Health Organization. At that time he said there were about 11 million cases of AIDS detected, out of which 1.6 is present in India. And at the end of century, there will be 40 million cases of AIDS in the world, out of which 11 million will be in India. More than 25% will be in India. And he said that within 5 years' time, the next 5 years, there is doubtful of any cure. No one will know how to cure this. Best is prevention. Prevention is better than cure. And the reason for this AIDS, he gave as, one is homosexuality. Other is heterosexuality, unsafe sex, that adultery. Third is using needles for drugs, blood transfusion, etc. And fourth is associated with alcoholism. If you analyze, Quran throws light on most of these topics. Quran says in Surah Araf, chapter number 7, verse number 80 and 81, that we sent Lut alayhi salam, Prophet Lut, peace be upon him, to the people. And he said to them, do you practice lewdness, which no one has done before? You prefer in lust men over women. You have indeed gone far beyond the limits. Lut alayhi salam says that these people used to practice homosexuality. And you know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends brimstone on them. Homosexuality is prohibited in the Holy Quran. But now we find in the modern world, they have legalized gay marriage. Do you know that? When I was in Canada, it came in front page. Man and man kissing each other, husband, wife. Legalized gay, homosexuality. Legalized. The gays, they take out a procession for their rights. Gay rights. A headquarters San Francisco, etc. One of the reasons homosexuality. Then comes adultery. The Quran says in Surah Isra, chapter number 17, verse number 32, it says that come not close to adultery. It's an evil opening other roads to evil. Come not close to adultery. And do you know, in America, a man has 8 different sexual partners on an average before he settles down with one permanent life partner. On average 8. Some may have 20, some may have 30, some may have 1, some may have 2. On average 8 sexual partners before they settle down with a permanent wife. Do you know this? It's been legalized there. Quran is against adultery. Totally against adultery. And one of the causes of AIDS is prostitution. You know what the medical doctors call them? CSW. You know what is CSW? Commercial sex workers. We give refined words for this. And according to Dr. Gilada in that conference, he said 50% of the commercial sex workers of Bombay had AIDS. By the end of the century, 90% will have it. There is no place for prostitution in Islam. And most of the people going to prostitutes, the report said, were between 15 to 24 years, young people. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 7, chapter number 3, hadith number 4. He said, "O young people, whoever has the means to get married, for it will help you to lower your gaze. Marrying early is preferable in Islam. It will prevent adultery. It will prevent promiscuity. It will prevent homosexuality. Therefore, our Prophet said, marriage completes half your deen." Come to the last reason he gave, associated tuberculosis, as well as alcoholism. Major people that go to the prostitute, 95% they have alcohol. Alcoholics. Quran says, as I mentioned earlier, in Surah Ma'idah, chapter 5, verse number 90, it says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru wal maisiru, most certainly intoxicants and gambling, wal anzabu wal aslamu, dedication of stones, divination of arrows, rishtum min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu lalakum tuflihun, abstain from such handiwork that you may prosper. Today, the medical doctors, they say, don't call them drunkards. I'll call them the disease. Treat them like patients. You know, that's the terminology we use in the new books of medicine. I'll call them the disease. How you treat a patient of tuberculosis, of cancer. Don't blame the alcoholics. Treat them as patients. It's a disease. I tell them that if alcohol is a disease, it's the only disease sold in bottles. It's the only disease advertised in the newspapers, in the magazines, in the radios, as well as the television. Our government has a law that you cannot advertise anything like alcohol. So you know what they do? Bagpiper soda. Who drinks bagpiper soda? It is there. People know it is bagpiper whiskey. It's not bagpiper soda. I saw an ad, London Pilsner or some other alcohol company. Glass, ad for glass. Any logical person will know it is an ad for that alcohol. So they're taking a government for a ride. These ads are allowed even on the television, you see. If alcohol is a disease, it is the only disease which gets revenue for the government. It is the only disease which has got licensed outlets. It's the only disease which has got no viral or germ cause. It's the disease which causes violent deaths on the highway. It's the disease which destroys the family. The Quran says it's not a disease, it says, Rishtum min amali shaitan. These are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu lalakum tuflihun. Abstain from this handiwork that you may prosper.
Tawheed is the basis of Islam. Submission to God. Character is shaped by faith. Belief in God and righteous conduct can never be separated. Learn how Tawheed builds character with me, Yahya Ibrahim, only on Peace TV.
Visualize the character which uproots darkness and stands firm against every injustice. Join Yahya Ibrahim in Tawheed Builds Character every Tuesday at 4 p.m. and repeat telecast at 1:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV. Distinguished world-famous orator who dedicated their lives to conveying a message of peace came together at one platform, the International Islamic Conference, with one vision, with one mission, Peace Mission.
I welcome all of you with Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Peace Mission every Monday to Saturday at 7 p.m. and repeat telecast at 10 a.m. UK on Peace TV. The solution for humanity.
The next question, please.
Assalamu alaikum, brother Zakir Naik. Educated people do not believe the Qiyamah, the last day which is judged by Allah. Obedience of Allah goes to heaven, disobedience, that is sinners, goes to hell.
The brother posed a question that educated people don't believe in Qiyamah, the day of resurrection, and life after death, etc., that the world is going to end, etc. So, how will you prove to them logically or scientifically about Qiyamah, about life after death, etc.? Brother, one way, as I said earlier, that if 80% of the Quran have been proved to be 100% correct, and the remaining 20% is ambiguous, my logic says that even this 20% will be correct. That's the answer I gave earlier. There's another way you can prove to these educated people by asking them a simple question. You ask them a question, is robbing good or bad? Robbing, is it good or bad? The brother is saying it is bad. Is raping good or bad? Bad. The brother is saying it is bad. What I ask the question to these educated people who don't believe in Qiyamah, who don't believe in life after death, I tell them, can you give me one logical reason why robbing is bad? Only one. Can you give me a logical reason why it is bad?
People do live in simple way, that is they do the bad thing.
People will do bad things.
People like to live in simple way, that is what they would like to do the bad things.
And get the answer. Whatever it is, if you ask a person why not to rob, there will be various reasons. That if you rob, it hurts the feeling of the other person. See, I'm telling you, I am a smuggler. Suppose I'm a smuggler. You prove to me why robbing is bad. See, I'm not bothered with it harming the other person or not. No one can harm me. If I rob, if I take out 1,000 rupees from the wallet of a man passing by, I can go to the bar, I can have dinner, I can have lunch, I can go to a movie, I can enjoy life. It is good. Why it is bad? Some people say, if you rob someone else, someday someone will rob you. No one can rob me. I am a mafia. Just an example, I am a mafia. I have got 1,000 bodyguards, all with AK-47. All with AK-47. No one can harm me. I can harm them. I have got 1,000 bodyguards, all with AK-47. No one can harm my family. My family is guarded. I want to ask the question, you prove to me robbing is bad. One logical reason, not two. Why it is bad, and I will stop it immediately. I am a logical person. I believe in science. As you said, I'm a logical person. I believe in science. You prove to me why it is bad. Some may say, let's see, it's against humanity. I said, who wrote this book called Humanity? Who wrote it? I don't believe in it. I'm enjoying life. When I rob 1,000 rupees, when I rob 1 lakh rupees, I can enjoy life. I can buy a new flat. I can go abroad. And no one can harm me because I am a mafia. Some people say, the police will catch you and put you in the jail. I say, I've got the police in my pocket. I've got the ministers in my pocket. And we know that throughout the world there are various top smugglers who have got the police in their pocket. They have got ministers in their pocket. No one can harm them. Throughout the world you got examples. I'm saying I'm such a mafia. You prove to me why it is bad and I will stop robbing. And this question I posed to thousands of people in audiences. Whatever answer they give, it does not satisfy logic and reason. So I tell them, okay, now you become that mafia and I will try and convince to you why robbing is bad. Why raping is bad. So he's happy, okay, now Zakir took me for a ride, now we will take Zakir for a ride. So I tell him, the reason why robbing is bad, maybe you're a mafia, no one can harm you, I agree with you. No one can harm your family. But if you rob, you go against the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the hereafter you'll get punishment. In this world, you may have the police in your pocket, you may have the minister in your pocket, but in the hereafter, you will be held responsible. I am asking you a question that your human law, you talk about a human law. Now, I am speaking as a Muslim. Now you are the mafia. I am speaking as a Muslim and convincing you of Qiyamah and life after death. I am telling you that if you are a mafia and you kill many people, you may get saved in this world, not in the hereafter. I ask a question that suppose there is a smuggler who has killed hundreds of people. Don't you think he requires punishment? When he requires, where will he get it? We see many smugglers lead a luxurious life, they have got palaces, they enjoy life, and they die a very good death. Some people die a bad death, some people die a good death. Don't you think they require punishment? Hitler, Do you know Hitler? Hitler incinerated 6 million Jews. He burned 6 million Jews alive. Do you know that? Even if you say 6 lakh, I agree with you. You say 6,000, I agree with you. I'm asking the question, if your law catches Hitler, what punishment can you give him? What punishment? Worst you can do is incinerate him. You can burn him. But that will compensate only for one death. What about the other 5,900,999 deaths? But in my logical case, in the year after, Allah will put him in the hell. And Quran says in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 56, as to those who reject our signs, we will put you in hellfire. And as often as your skins are roasted, we shall give you fresh skins. So if Allah wants, He can burn Hitler 6 million times. He can even burn Hitler 12 million times. Therefore, without a year after, there will be no morality in this world. So raping is bad. Why? Because if you get saved in this world, you will pay in the year after. Hope that answers the question.
The next question from the ladies' side.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you please comment on artificial insemination and test tube babies?
The sister posed the question, can I comment on artificial insemination and test tube baby? Whether it's allowed or not in Islam. That's what she means. Sister, artificial insemination is of two types. One is homogeneous and the other is heterogeneous. Homogeneous means using the sperm and the ovum of the husband and wife. If suppose the wife or the husband has certain medical problems, and if you know by doing homogeneous artificial insemination, they can give birth to a child, it's perfectly allowed. But heterogeneous artificial insemination in which you get a sperm from a sperm bank, it's totally haram. How? Your blood bank. Here today, you also have sperm bank. You cannot go to a sperm bank and get a sperm and use it in your wife. That's haram. So homogeneous artificial insemination is allowed, heterogeneous is not allowed. Same way for the test baby, whatever. If it's of the husband and wife, it's totally allowed. If it's not of husband and wife, it's not allowed. It's as good as adultery. Hope that answers the question.
Assalamu alaikum, Zakir bhai. My name is Shakir and I'm a mechanical engineer student. I would like to ask you a question that how can you prove to an atheist scientifically the existence of God?
The brother has posed the question, how can you scientifically prove the existence of God Almighty, the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Especially to an atheist who does not believe in God. The first thing I will do is that I will congratulate that atheist. I congratulate him. You know why? If you look around us, he is a Hindu because father is a Hindu. He is a Christian because father is a Christian. Some Muslims are Muslims because their father is a Muslim. This person, though he may be coming from a religious background, he does not believe in the false God which his parents attribute to. So he does not believe in God. I'm congratulating him because he's accepted the first part of the Shahada, the first part of the Islamic creed, La ilaha, there is no God. Now my job is to prove illallah, but Allah, which I shall do inshallah. To the other people, I have to first remove the wrong concept of God and then prove the right concept of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here half my job is done. He has already said La ilaha. There's no God. Now I have to prove illallah, but Allah, which I shall do inshallah. You ask this atheist that suppose there is an object, an unidentified, maybe a flying object, which no one in the world has seen. No human being in the world knows about this object. If it's brought in front of you, and if you're asked that who will be the first person who will be able to tell you the mechanism of this unidentified object, you have to ask the question. Who is the first person who will be able to tell you the mechanism of this new object which no one in the world has seen? After thinking for a while, he'll give the answer. The person who will be able to tell you the mechanism, the first person, is the creator of that object. Some may say manufacturer, some may say producer. Whatever they say, don't grapple with the word, accept it. It will be somewhat similar. Either creator or producer or manufacturer. But remember what he has told you. Keep it in your mind. Then ask him the next question. How did the universe come into existence? How was it formed? He will tell you by the Big Bang Theory. Tell him the Quran mentions in Surah Anbiya, chapter 21, verse number 30, about the Big Bang Theory. Who could have mentioned this in the Quran 1400 years ago? So he will tell you, maybe it's a fluke. Don't argue with him. Next part of the question. We did not know the light of the moon is reflected light. We came to know recently. You ask him, he'll tell you, yes. The light of the moon is reflected light. It's not its own light. When we discovered, he will tell you recently, yesterday, 50 years back, 100 years back, yesterday in science. You tell him, the Quran mentioned that the light of the moon is reflected light 1400 years ago. Who could have mentioned that? Maybe somebody had a wild guess. Don't argue with him. Continue. We thought the sun was stationary. You ask him, is it stationary? He said, no, it's rotating and revolving. When you learn this, he will tell you yesterday, 50 years back, 100 years back. Quran mentions this 1400 years ago. He will hesitate, but may say, maybe some intelligent person wrote it. Don't argue with him. Continue. How was the universe initially? What is celestial matter? He will tell you, it was smoke. How did you come to know? We have got proof, we have got evidence. You tell him, Quran mentioned this 14 years ago. Who could have mentioned that? He will hesitate. Don't wait for response. Continue. Keep on posing question after question. More that I give in the lecture, keep on posing one question after the other. That water cycle, how do we come to know about it? Quran mentioned 14 years ago. About every living thing made from water. Who could have mentioned that? Quran speaks about botany, the male and female. Who could have mentioned that? Pose one after the other and ask the question, who could have written that? Then you tell him that there is a theory known as theory of probability. That if you have two choices, out of which one is right, the chances that you will make the correct choice just at random is 1 in 2. For example, if I toss a coin, it can either be heads or tails. The chances that I'll be right will be 1 in 2. If I toss it twice, the chances that I'll be right both the times will be 1 upon 2 multiplied by 1 upon 2, that is 1 upon 4, 25% chance. If I toss it thrice, chances I'll be right all 3 times, 1 upon 2 multiplied by 1 upon 2 multiplied by 1 upon 2, it's 1 upon 8, 12.5%. A dice has got 6 sides. If I throw a dice, the chances that at random I'll be correct is 1 upon 6. If I throw it twice, the chances that both the time I'll be right will be 1 upon 6 by 1 upon 6, 1 upon 36. This is called a theory of probability. If I throw the dice twice and then toss a coin, all 3 being right will be 1 upon 6 by 1 upon 6 by 1 upon 2 is 1 upon 72. So you ask him, the chances may be, if you ask, what is the shape of the earth? There are various shapes. Some may say it is flat, some may say it's triangular, some may say it is hexagonal, some may say pentagonal, some may say heptagonal, some may say square. Say there can be 10 shapes. Some may say it is round, it is spherical. The chances that if anyone makes a wild guess, it being correct is 1 upon 10. The light of the moon, it can either be its own light or it can be reflected light. The chances that you make a wild guess and it being correct will be 1 upon 2. The chances that both shape of the earth and light of the moon being reflected light, both being correct, if you make a wild guess, it will be 1 upon 10 multiplied by 1 upon 2, it is 1 upon 20. What can the living creatures be made of? Some may say sand, some may say stone, some may say aluminium, some may say gold, say 1,000 materials you can name. Some may say water, some may say silver, 1,000 materials. The chances that you make a wild guess and one of them being right, according to mathematics, is 1 upon 1,000. The chances that all 3 being correct, the earth is spherical, Light of the moon is reflected light, and every living creature created from water is correct will be 1 upon 10 multiplied by 1 upon 2 multiplied by 1 upon 1000. Answer comes to 1 upon 20,000 or 0.005%. Quran speaks about scientific science more than 1,000 verses. In 3 verses, the answer comes to 0.05%. If you apply probability theory to all this being at random chance, it will come to 0, negligible. And in maths, anything 1 in 10 raised to 50, it's equal to 0. So you ask your atheist friend, who could have written this? The only answer he can give you is his first answer, the creator, the manufacturer, the person who has produced it. That's the only answer, there's no other answer. What science is saying today is they are not eliminating God. They are eliminating models of God. La ilaha illallah. They are not eliminating God, but models of God. I hope that answers the question.
Malik, Evangela